Today we get a chat with vocalist Zero of the band Zero 936 discussing their upcoming album, They Were Always Here, which will be out December 12th. I hope you enjoy. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I wanted to talk about your Chucky tattoo because I noticed that in another interview, and
Yeah,
that's so killer.
I
And
have
okay, what? And you got Reagan?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
it's a whole Jason ghost
I
face.
and I got
Oh,
yeah,
Pennywise.
I got the whole deal going on.
Oh, that's fun. So obviously a
Yeah.
horror movie fan.
It's funny, people think I'm like a diehard horror movie fan. I love horror movies. I'm more like into I guess like character
Oh, huh.
movies. So like I love Terrifier, like I love all the Terrifier ones. But like deep cut horror movies, I'm like not too familiar. Like I've seen every Scream, I've seen every Chucky or Child's Play, like I've seen every Friday the 13th, I've seen every, you know, Halloween. Like I've seen all of those. Anything with like an icon in it, I've seen. But deep cut
I
horror
say
movies,
that
not
make
you know.
say that makes you a horror movie fan. You don't have to go into the B-rated ones to be
It's like
considered a horror movie fan.
it's like the same thing when people are like, "Oh, what kind of music do you make?" And you're like, "Oh, it's like heavy." And then someone who likes obscure heavy music is like, "That's not even
All
heavy." You're like, "Okay."
right.
You know what I mean? Like it's
There's
that's
a scale. So you're so
so
you're trying to like slim down the scale because you're like horror movie, like hardcore horror movie
I'm
fans are
trying
gonna
to
be
be
like,
politically
those are
correct.
horror.
Like I love horror movies as long as there's like an attachment to like pop culture in it. That's
Mm.
like where I like my things. Yeah, it's that thing where you'll be like, oh, I just saw whatever heavy band. Like it's not even a heavy band. You're like, all right, cool. It's for me. It's like people ask all the time, like, what kind of music do you make? I'm like, I don't know. It's like heavy, um, whatever, and then. Uh, a lot of times like what do you listen to and then they'll say like oh I listen to like Mayhem and I'm like all right well it's not heavy then it's to you. Like so I don't know, it's always like it's not heavy enough for people who like heavy music and then it's too
Right.
heavy for people who don't like heavy music, you know.
Right. Yeah. You're like, I'm
But
just I'm just
I-
flirting right in the
I'm
middle
just
there with
I'm
what.
just I'm just going around, you know.
Well, you do have a mix of a lot of different styles of music within your music, which is I think
Yeah,
it's cool. I like when there's like a bridge that's, being put between the different genres because then it does introduce people that might just only be into rap, might just only be into
yeah,
rock, might just only be into heavy to metal. It kind of helps bridge that gap a little bit. And so I think that's really cool. Have you noticed I'm always curious, obviously, because metal is my main genre. I'm always curious with people outside of the genre when there are bands or songs that mix like that. If you notice on your end more that flip over to one genre or the other. Does
yeah.
that make sense? I worded that super weird.
No, absolutely, yeah. It always seems to be like people will come up to me like all the time like I don't like rap music. And then I'll be like, okay. Or they'll be like, I don't like metal music, but I do. So I
Yeah.
don't think there's like one way or the other. I do probably think we get more metal fans than anything, metalcore fans than anything I
Yeah.
say. But we don't, but they don't, I don't think metalcore fans really like us that much either. So I don't know. It's a bit, it's like I think the safest way to say it is it's not very like the rap that we incorporate into our songs is not the typical kind of like hip hop
Yeah.
flow rap. You know what I mean? Which is great for what it is. Like Linkin Park pioneered that style of rap into rock and metal. We don't really do that kind of rap, so I think it kind of takes those fans out of it, you know.
Right.
Um, but it's just yeah, it's cool that people seem to can get behind it at least. I don't know.
No, I think you're doing just fine. You've already released 3 songs off of this upcoming album that doesn't even come out until next month,
Y-
and
yes,
they're doing very well.
they are, which is cool being an independent band, having stuff do well, so
Right. And you're going on tour with Atreyu because you guys are going to be here next month as well.
we are on tour right now.
Oh, are you
I'm in a
already?
Best Buy parking lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are in we just played San Antonio last night.
Oh, nice.
Surprisingly, best of the three Texas shows, energy wise. I did not know
Oh,
San Antonio was
interesting.
they were going insane. Like
That's
by far best
awesome.
energy Yeah, wild.
Well, I know
Did not
you're
know.
originally from Pennsylvania, but don't you live in Texas now?
No, I'm from Philadelphia and
Why did I
I live in Tennessee.
Okay, why did I think I so the weird kind of 2 degrees separation here. My sister-in-law owns a shop in Austin, and she knows one of your band members. I don't know for sure
My
which one.
drummer,
Okay, so
my drummer
he
lives in
lives in Austin.
Austin.
Okay, because
Yeah.
then she was saying how you guys are friends with Kubla Khan TX, and so I just assumed you were a Texas band then.
No, they know the Kubla Khan guys. My drummer
Okay.
does. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I live in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys are creating, especially with this album, or obviously practicing for the tour, do you guys just do it like digitally, or do you get together and do it?
Well, the worst answer here is unfortunately the truth, which is we do not rehearse. Um,
Holy crap!
so
That's kind of impressive, though.
they our bass player, our guitar player, and our drummer are they're all very, I'll say, they're all
Professional?
very talented, but they're all very like our guitar player Kobe. He builds like the songs out for the live show, and he kind of produces a lot of the intros. I'll produce some of the like interludes on our set as well, but he does a lot of that, so I don't have to worry about anything with him. He does like all of the guitar tones for the band and everything. He's very very good. And then he communicates with our front of house who gets everything going. And then AJ, our bass player, lives near Kobe, and then Kalen is just playing drums all the time, so I don't really worry about him. So it's
When you first go out on tour, are you nervous? Like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes. Or are you like, no, we got this. We
um if we have new songs in the set, like we play Here to Bleed now. We play a new song called System that's on our upcoming album. We
Oh,
play both of
I
those.
wanted to talk about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Did you Here to Bleed or System?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's it's one of the most fun songs to play live.
It's
Yeah,
heavy.
it's yeah, and it's like the heaviest song on the album. But
Yes.
I'm not worried unless we put new songs in. If we put new songs in, I think we usually do like a 2 hour, like let's run through it, make sure it sounds
Yeah.
good the night before. But other than that,
Jeez. That's just crazy to me. So, did you say you already have added System in, or are you going to be
yeah,
adding it? Oh, okay, cool.
we've been playing it. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, I've listened to the whole album and that one, obviously because metal is again my preferred genre, that one
yeah,
really stuck out to me because it is a really heavy one. So that and it
it's
makes sense
cool.
that you would do it with with a trio.
Yeah,
But that's fun. So is it super fun doing live?
um, it is probably the best song live. That one I really do like Here to Bleed live. Very fun. Kill Me
Mhm.
on our last album is very fun. Uh, Underneath that we did with Cody Quistad from Wage War. Very fun song live. We just
Mhm.
like we have a 30-minute set, so we're just playing like every single. We play Adrenaline obviously, but
Yeah.
like our set list is just like
Go, go,
just
go.
go, yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rap, you sing, and you do harsh vocals as well. Is there I mean, that's obviously three totally different vocal styles and ways that you're using your throat as well. Do you
Mm.
notice which one is automatically you want to say the harsh vocals are harder on your voice box, but not always, right?
No, rapping is the worst part.
It is.
Yeah.
Interesting. So explain that to me because I don't know much about like how that works with the throat.
So like you talk obviously for a living. Do you talk all day long, like, or do you do like sporadic
I'm
interviews?
actually a mental health therapist outside of this, so I do well, no, but usually I'm listening. So yes and no.
So there's been well, true, yeah. So there's a there, you know, like streamers and stuff like that. They always lose their voice just because they're talking all day.
Crazy.
And I think talking is the worst thing for you because your talking voice sits in the worst part of the worst part of your vocal cords, or vocal folds as they call them now. Your talking sits in the worst part because you're like back and you're in here, and realistically, the way you should be talking is like like up there, and no one wants to talk like that. That's ridiculous. Um, That's where your
Now I
singing voice
want
comes
to.
from. Yeah, the like up here is where your singing voice comes from, is where your screaming voice comes from. But rapping is just like yelling, and it's no good. I think I could do like a 3 hour long set if I didn't have to rap.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So when it comes to you guys doing headlining tours, I'm assuming eventually is what you're planning on working up
yeah.
to. Are you going to try to make sure that you're mixing in some of those, obviously that you're not having to wrap in to make sure that you can sustain?
No, we just did a Europe headliner. We did like an hour and 10 every night. It's
Oh,
fine.
geez.
It's just
Easy.
more so like pacing myself physically, because like on a 30-minute set, we just come out and just jump around as much as possible and just utilize all of our energy in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm playing an hour and 10, I'm probably going to dial it back for the first, or even if it's not the first song, but like we'll put some slow ones in at like three, four,
Yeah.
five, where I can kind of just stand in front of the microphone, regain, and then, you know,
So
go
is
again after
that
that.
that's something to expect with 0936 then is high energy um when you're
Have you
doing at
just,
least shorter
have you seen
sets.
our set?
I
Are you,
haven't.
are you coming to the show?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we are the most high energy we've ever been. Because when we started this project like 6 years ago, we kind of only had just rap fans because I was just doing rap music. So we started like, and I knew eventually we wanted it to be a heavier project, but we didn't want to scare people away originally that like liked us. So we tried to ease everybody into it. In hindsight, good idea, bad idea, I'm not sure, but it's
I
like
mean, it's smart. It
gone.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's gone like, completely. So our set now, and even our first show ever was like 4 years ago. So, or my first show ever rather was four
Yeah.
years ago. So it's a completely different show now for anybody who has seen us before. It is entirely high energy. I do not suck anymore. Uh and yeah, it's a lot better. It's very high energy for 30 minutes.
So is that what you're, because there's even a little bit of like kind of electronic music that you have in there too. Like you
Mm,
have all different genres that you're covering. So moving forward, is that what you're planning on doing? Is getting like heavier and heavier? Because that's what it sounds like you're preferring.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna go like Lorna Shore. I don't think we're gonna get that heavy. But like, like you heard, the breakdown on System is very heavy. Like things like that, I think is kind of where our bread and butter is. Kind of keep it friendly, but also just extremely heavy in parts. Um, I guess that would be kind of the goal. We do have a heavier song on that we have not released yet. That is like by far the heaviest one. But I don't. But you're not going to get like a whole album of that.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So when you're like listening to music just on your own, what are you usually listening to? Are you listening to all of those four genres, or is there something that you find yourself more interested in?
I grew up listening to like a lot of uh rock and rap and metal. Like uh, Slipknot is my favorite band of all time. Uh, and then Shinedown is one of my favorite bands of all time. 3 Days Grace. So like there's a lot of metal that I like, and then a lot of rock that I like. But I also grew up listening to like a lot of rap. Like Meek Mill was my favorite rapper when I was growing up. Fabulous, one of my favorite rappers when I was growing up. But now the only thing I really listen to now is like, do you know who Ethel Kane is? So I listen to like a lot of Ethel Kane, a lot of Quinn 92. Uh, who else? I'm trying to think. A lot of not
Music is that?
rock.
Oh,
Ethel
okay.
Kane is like, I don't even know what it is. It's
Yeah, that's
it's
always
like
fun.
it's like 10. Every song is like between 7 and 10 minutes, and it's kind of just
Uh,
very drony music. But she is like one of the best songwriters I've ever heard.
hmm.
Sick. It's very cool. Check it out.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
long it's a long journey though. Like every single album connects to the next album, and it's like,
Oh,
there's prequels and sequels, and apparently she's completely done
jeez.
now. So like she dropped like her newest album, which is the prequel to the second album, and apparently it's entirely over now. She's not making any more music, which is
Wow.
crazy because she's very famous and she's just quitting. But
Interesting. Well,
yeah,
sometimes people
for
do
the
and then
art,
come back. Yeah.
for the art.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. So speaking of lyrics, you do have a lot of heart and soul into your lyrics. They're pretty emotional lyrics. Tell me a little bit about kind of like your lyrical inspiration. Plus, you're like dropping albums. Often. So
Was that?
do you ever feel like you're like running out of inspiration? Because I was looking, I was
Um,
like, this is like every year, every other year.
yeah, no, I think realistically, um, the the way that I make music is, and it's the way that I prefer to. I know a lot of people do not prefer to, especially bands, but I prefer to just go throughout the year, like making songs. So if I'm home for 2 weeks, I'll make a song or two, and then I'll go and do a tour, and I'll come home and I'll make two or three songs, and then I'll go on vacation, and then I'll go to LA and I'll make a few songs. So it's like for me, I'm always collecting songs, I guess what the phrase is. Um, and that way I kind of always have new things to talk about or write about, because a lot of times people will get in the studio for a month or 3 weeks or whatever, or 6 weeks, and be like, okay, it's time to make an album. And that doesn't really work well for me, or
Yeah,
for my ADHD, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes more sense for sure doing it the way that you're doing it. So as far as your lyrics and stuff, like I said, it does seem like it comes from a very deep and personal place. Um, is that something that is easier for you because of that, or is it more difficult because because you're putting emotions into it?
No, I think it's easier. I think anything authentic is easier, even if it's like
Mhm.
harder to say, or if it feels like embarrassing or whatever to say, you know. I think it's also kind of like the test for me, where it's like, is that too much? Like, am I, you know? And then
Mhm.
I think if you're asking that question, you should probably just put it in the song, you know?
Yeah,
Um, so no, I think it's a lot easier for if you're just honest, instead of, trying to cultivate a song,
hmm,
just for the sake of a song.
right.
Um, but I enjoy writing that way. It's the easiest thing for me. I write all of my songs in about 40 minutes to 2 hours. So I don't really spend a lot of, but I think that's because I'm fully, like, my body or my mind or whatever is like fully recharged when I go into the studio. I'm not like worn out because I haven't done it,
Right.
you know?
That makes sense, right?
So I think that does help.
Has there ever been a song that you have created or written that sits with you a lot heavier that maybe is a little bit more difficult to either perform or to record?
No, I think I'm pretty good at taking the personal out of the song, especially when performing or when recording or whatever, like taking out the uh what's the word for it? Like taking out
Like
I
your
guess it would just be
personal
the
experience, kind
personal
of?
experience out of
Mm-hmm.
it. And because you're not writing music for, I mean, you are writing music for you. I get it. That's what everybody says you have to do. But like, you're making music for other people. So I think
Yeah.
it's very easy to be like out. And a lot of times I do try and write it. And then when I look at the lyrics, I'll try and change a word or two so that it's applicable for anybody. It's not just like very specific thing.
Right.
I try not to do a lot of like hyper specific, like she said this, even though I know a lot of bands do that. But if you once you start putting in that very specific thing, it does become a degree of less relatable to a certain
Yeah,
person.
for sure.
So I try and dial it back, and I think a lot. And if we can keep it obvious but also open for interpretation, I think that's the best. That's the best route when writing a song for me.
So when you have people approach you, whether it's, digitally or in person about your lyrics and they're sharing their own
Hmm.
personal um experiences, events, journey, whatever, is that something that like you enjoy, or is that like something that's heavy for you to where you're like, I
No, no, it's
don't
cool. It's no, it's cool. I appreciate it. It's usually, a lot of times it's usually like for them a very uh specific like moment that it helped. It's not like a what was me my whole life type of thing. A lot of times it's like, oh, I was in the hospital for this long, or like when this person died or whatever. This was the thing that helped. So it's nice. I don't think it would ever be like my whole life is in shambles all the time, and so now I listen to this. It's never that. It's like this specific thing got me through. So I think it's cool. I enjoy hearing it, especially because it's kind of it's kind of odd because you don't think about that kind of thing when you're writing a song, even though obviously that is like pretty much the intention is to help people. But yeah, it's still interesting.
Do you ever have, I just asked Jeffrey Nothing earlier this week that I thought was kind of or last week, I guess it was now because it's Monday. Because I thought it was a fun question that I'd never thought to ask anybody. And I know that you're, fairly new, obviously.
Mhm.
But do you have people that like bring you gifts? And have you ever had someone bring you something like super off the wall?
Off the wall, no. A lot of gifts all the time. I just got this gift. Hold up. But this goes hard though. So you see,
Oh, how funny.
yeah,
Dude,
good
what a
gifts.
weird like that was the tattoo that I
I
had
know.
pictured out of the thing.
I
So how
know.
funny. That must
I don't know.
be the one that a lot of
People.
people zone in on then.
I know. It's funny. I don't know. People like the tattoo, but yeah, I just got that. We get good gifts. Usually we get like Raising Cane's gift cards, which is nice because it's my favorite spot. But
Oh, I don't even
yeah,
know
we
what
get
that is.
Raising Cane's.
Hmm.
Where do you live?
In Idaho.
Oh, I think you have one. I think you might have
We have a
one.
lot of mountains and rivers.
You should check if you have a Raising Cane's. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Is it
Yeah.
like a restaurant?
It's a chicken finger spot, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's
Yeah.
all they sell.
Oh, okay.
And they have like
Interesting.
a sauce. That's like their thing, is the
And they
sauce.
obviously know that about you because you're getting gift cards for there.
I
That's
know
cool.
one time someone, because when we did our first headliner, like like what 2 years ago, 3 years ago, someone was like, "What gifts can we bring you?" And I just like replied on my story, and I was like, "Bring me Raising Cane's gift cards. I'll feed the band and the crew." And then we got like $2,000 worth of gift cards on that tour.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So,
yeah.
I mean, it does seem like you do more from at least recently, from what I have been able to tell. Um, you're doing Download Fest, which
Hmm.
is a metal fest. You're on a metal tour right now.
Hmm.
You have collabed with both artists, but a lot of metal artists. I think Ice Nine Kills was one of them.
Yep.
So, do you notice that your fan base is more leaning toward that.
I think for especially for the live show aspect, I don't think we really fit in with anything else. We're way too heavy for any rapper or
Mhm.
any rock band, like rock band. Especially yeah, especially live. It is way too heavy. Like
Yeah.
all we play all of our heavy stuff live too. So underneath break, kill me, system, the end. Um, it's like all just heavy songs.
Yeah.
You before it was easier to kind of just get into uh like a rock tour and
Yeah.
play our older songs, In My Hands, Adrenaline, things like that. We still play Adrenaline, obviously, but like In My Hands, Adrenaline, those songs, it was a lot easier to get away with those. And now it's like we can fit in very well to metal show, and it does really well at like all the Danny Wilmer festivals. Like we played Rocklahoma, and that was awesome. We played the same stage as Knock Loose, so stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Their
and Knock Loose is amazing.
crowds are intense.
Yeah, well, they're one of the best live bands I've ever
Oh, they
seen.
are.
So
They are. They're
they're
incredible.
yeah, they're nuts.
Yeah. Um, oh, I just lost the question I was gonna bounce off of that one. Shoot. I see. I don't do like rigid questions
Which
because I
is
like the
cool.
conversation to
I think
flow
that's
more. But
better.
then, but then sometimes if I have one loaded, it'll disappear. Um, yeah, it's completely gone. Well, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting that that's been more where you have settled, but that's fun. That's because that
Uh
means I get to see you guys.
yeah, and honestly, I think, a lot of like we wouldn't play if you heard our song Withdrawals that came out, like we wouldn't play
Hmm.
that on tour anyway. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I mean it has a breakdown, it has a heavy breakdown at the end, but like we wouldn't play that on a tour anyway. There's a lot of songs that we make that we wouldn't play on tours
Yeah.
that are like it's just not fun live songs. And like I
Okay.
said, touring for 4 years, not a long time. I know that. I know that before people are like, there's not even any touring. touring for 4 years.
You've
I
done a lot of touring in the 4 years.
Yeah, we're at 100 shows this year. So,
Yeah.
uh, um, but touring for 4 years, we now know what plays well. We
Yeah.
now know what goes good, what tempo this song is at. We'll go home and make another one that's in the similar tempo and try and beat the one that's in our set. And then we still make the songs that are not for live music, like Withdrawals or a few other ones. Like we have a song called Disgusting on the new one that you've heard that, and then Make a Mess. Like those songs we're probably never going to play live, but and maybe we will. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe in a headlining set with
Yeah.
production and if we can make it cool. But when you're kind of up against house lights only, you kind of got to give it your all. And those songs aren't really going to be flying that well. So we know what to play. It's all heavy stuff. And it is nice to be on a metal tour. And we're doing really well on this one, which is shocking to me, just because we've done so many different genres of touring.
First,
And
yeah.
this album came out when I was 7. So it's like these fans
So the
enjoying our
Trey one.
music is very cool. Yeah, And Brandon is one of my best friends. And he was telling me, he's like, you're gonna do great on this tour, I promise. And I was like, okay, we'll see. He's like, I wouldn't have taken you on it. But
Right.
it's just interesting.
Like, I'm not taking
Uh
you on here to fail.
yeah, no, yeah, that'd be messed up. He was looking for my downfall, I guess. I don't know.
So, another, I guess, interesting question, and for me, and hopefully it'll be for other people too. I always ask like the security people at shows if they get nervous, with metal crowds. Like I know I'm safe. I don't ever get nervous there. I know my son is safe, but I'm just always curious with the security people, how they feel, and they're like, oh no, it's like a cakewalk for metal shows, and so I'm always curious what isn't cakewalks, and usually country is the big one, which is super
Mm-mm.
bizarre. Kind of not and kind of is.
Yeah, I get it
Um,
though.
and
I
then
wouldn't have
some.
thought it, but I get it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like initially you're like, what? And then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they said some of the like hip hop rap shows. So have you noticed with doing the different going through the different shows and tours and festivals, uh crowd wise, or even just with who you're playing with slash touring with, do you notice a difference in like the feel, the mood, the people?
No, like last night was one of the most hyped crowds we ever played for, ever. We played with the Plot and You. A lot of those crowds were really great. We played with Wage War. Those crowds are awesome. 3 Days Grace also good. Not really as much of like a pit as like a Trey or Wage or things like that. But what's funny is last night, I don't know what happened, but I guess some fight happened during our
Oh,
second song,
interesting.
and they had to take 2 people out. And then
Interesting.
though when we were playing with the Plot and You in Green Bay, there was this girl in the front row, and this guy kept like hitting her. And then I was like, "What's going on here? Like, what are we doing?" And they were like, "That's fine." And I was like, "All right." So I just kept looking at it, and they the next thing I know is this dude like puts a headlock on this girl and just brings her to the ground. I stopped the song. I get security. I'm like, yo, he has to go. All the girls around that guy were like, no, she has to go. And I was like, what's going on? I don't know what.
Oh
They're
my
like,
gosh.
she's. So I guess it was her. She was the problem. I don't know. It all depends. It's really just based on the show. Like Hollywood Undead fans are great. We just did that tour.
Fun.
Um, they were one of the most fun crowds. Yeah, I don't know. It's all different. I think it's more regional based than it is like
Yeah,
the it's
genre
more
based.
the yeah.
That makes sense.
It-
Yeah, because I don't ever see stuff like that. Like it's very, very rare to see any kind of upheaval but we're in Idaho. Well, which again, it could go either way, right? But
yeah.
it's pretty loving people around here. So, but I've been to shows in Seattle. I've been to shows in Salt Lake, and yeah, I just never worry. So that's really interesting. Hmm.
I think it's more
So,
regional than it is in the show. I think it's where we're
yeah.
at.
That makes sense. I saw a video of, do you know the band The Browning?
Yes.
I love them so much.
Yeah.
But they were playing at a pop festival, which I don't even have any idea how that I have no idea how that ended up coming to be. Like I could see them like at an EDM festival, but
Yeah,
like pop doesn't make any sense. But it was funny because it was scanning to the crowd while they were playing, and I'm sitting there thinking a pop crowd is going to be like, what is this? And you
yeah,
can see like the shock, but then you see like them all like falling in love with it and getting super excited and intense with
yeah,
it. And it just made me laugh. I'm like, I wonder how many people left there like metalheads.
yeah. No, that band is sick.
Oh, they're
Are
so
they
good.
new?
No, they've been around for I don't know. They have I guess only like 5 or 6 albums out.
Okay,
But they've been around
because
for a while.
I just got hip to them like recently,
Oh, they're so
so I didn't know
much
if they were
fun.
new. Yeah, they're sick.
And they're so good live. You guys would do really well together. That'd be we just saw them with Born of Osiris. Oh my gosh,
Sick,
it was so much
sick.
fun. Well, yeah, well, I'm super excited to see you guys. I do really dig this album. You do. It was fun to initially go into it because I didn't know what to expect. I had heard who
Mm,
you guys were because of my sister-in-law, but I
yeah,
didn't know like much about you, and so I went in totally blind. So the rapping I had no idea was
yeah,
coming. The metal I had no idea was coming. The singing, like, and then the electronic stuff, like it
yeah.
was a very big journey for me that I super enjoyed, and
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm
thank you
really
so much.
excited to be able to experience you guys live and see it firsthand because I definitely am really enjoy that System song, so I was glad
Thank
that
you.
that
Yeah,
was on
yeah,
there.
hell yeah, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, no, I'm glad you like it. Thank you so much. We'll we'll try and make sure that we'll make sure that one goes super hard in Idaho. We'll do our best.
Make sure, yeah, bring your
Yeah,
all because I'm going to be judging.
I'll get the biggest pit going in Idaho. I'll put the band on notice.
There you go. Yeah, and or the place that you guys are playing, I think it's Tree Fort.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'll see you at
awesome.
Treeford then.
Yes. I hope you have a good rest of the tour
Yeah,
until
thank
then
you.
and after then as well.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you then.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Bye.
Talk to you later.